Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Abandoned Places with a Dark History. In today's video, we're looking at 4 abandoned places that are still open and that you can visit. Some of them are going to be more creepy than others. A lot of these places have really dark histories, but they also have some interesting ones where people mysteriously disappeared or died while visiting these locations. So, let's get started. And before we do, please make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps my channel out a lot and means that I can continue making these videos for you guys. Also, don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you never miss another upload. Also, at the end of this video, I'm gonna ask you guys a question. And if enough of you agree with one of the answers, then I will turn it into an entire video. But anyways, I hope you enjoy. The first place is an island. This island is known for being one of the most haunted islands in the world. The island is called Poveglia, and it's located in Venice, Italy. For centuries, the island was used as a quarantine zone. People who came from the Ottoman Empire were quarantined here, and back then, people thought that the reason why they were getting sick was because of bad air. So, they built this hospital on the island and sent all the sick people there. Later, they realized that it wasn't the air, it was actually rats carrying diseases. But by then, thousands of people had already died on the island. Later, it was converted into a mental hospital, which made the island even more sinister, because you now had thousands of people suffering from horrible mental illnesses living on this island, and it was overcrowded and understaffed. So conditions on the island were terrible. Later, both the hospitals on the island were closed down, and eventually the entire island was abandoned. To this day, no one lives on the island, but it is open to the public. And many tourists come here every year to experience what it would have been like to be quarantined here during the Ottoman Empire, or to experience what it was like to be locked up in a mental hospital. If you want to go to this island, it's not easy. As soon as you arrive in Venice, you need to contact the Carabinieri, which is the Italian military police, and get special permission to land on the island. And there are people guarding the island 24 hours a day to keep tourists away. But if you do get permission, you can land on the island and explore it for yourself. Number 2 brings us to Russia. This next location has such a sad history, but I think it goes to show how horrible life was just 100 years ago. This location is an abandoned sanatorium. Back in the early 1900s, people started dying of tuberculosis. At first, it was just a few isolated cases, but later it became a pandemic. They had no idea how it spread, but they did find out that the most effective way to treat it was isolation. So they built these massive sanatoriums where they would send people who had tuberculosis to stay for months until they either died or recovered. Unfortunately, almost everyone who entered these sanatoriums died, and these sanatoriums were open for decades. So many people died here. After the pandemic was finally over, these sanatoriums were abandoned and left to rot. And this one is one of the best preserved. In recent years, it has become quite popular amongst urban explorers. And if you want to visit for yourself, you absolutely can. But there are security guards patrolling the area at all times, so you have to be careful when you enter. Also, it is very dangerous inside because the building is unstable and the roof may collapse at any moment. But still, thousands of urban explorers risk their lives every year to explore this abandoned sanatorium. Number 3 takes us across the ocean to Canada. Now, this location is one of the creepiest locations on this list, but it might also be one of the happiest. This location is an amusement park. But when I say amusement park, I mean a real, abandoned amusement park. All the rides are completely destroyed and nature has taken over. It's quite scary to look around this park because you can't imagine what it would have been like back in its prime. People rode these rides, and then, suddenly, they didn't. The park was abandoned, and all the rides were left out in the weather to rot. There are rumors that this park is haunted by the ghosts of the former employees who died on the job. If you want to visit this park for yourself, you absolutely can. But I wouldn't recommend it. That's because much of the park is fenced off, and there are signs everywhere warning you not to enter. Also, if you do go into the park, you will most likely get arrested because it's on private property. But if you're willing to take the risk, you can sneak into the park and explore it for yourself. Just be careful, because there are parts of the rides that are still standing, and you could easily fall and hurt yourself. Our last stop brings us to Eastern Europe. This next location is probably the saddest location on this list. This location is an abandoned village. Entire villages have been abandoned for many reasons throughout history. But this village, I believe, is the only village that was abandoned because of a lake. The village was named Gerzabau, and it was a normal village, just like any other. Houses, trees, farms, the whole shebang. But then, one day, a nearby power plant exploded, and the explosion caused a lake to form. The entire village was underwater. The villagers were forced to abandon their homes and move away. And to this day, the village remains underwater. Now, I know what you're thinking. If the village is underwater, how can I visit it? Well, the good news is you can. There's actually a small town nearby where you can rent boats and other watercraft. And then you can go and explore the village for yourself. You can see the remnants of the houses, streets, and even the church. Many people say that it's quite sad to see what happened to this village. Imagine working your whole life to build a house, and then one day it disappears underwater. If you ever go to this village yourself, please post a video online. I would love to see what it looks like today. Now, for the question I asked at the beginning of the video. Have you ever experienced anything like this? Let me know in the comments if I should tell the full story. Also, before you go, please make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps my channel out a lot and means that I can continue making these videos for you guys. Also, don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you never miss another upload. Thanks for watching. Thanks again for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, then what are you waiting for? Subscribe to my channel.